We are getting closer and closer to season's end here. Welcome everybody to the NASCAR Muno iRacing Cup Series. We're here from Chicagoland for another mile-and-a-half race. Should be fun and exciting, just like always. But a little bit different in the booth. It's just me and Cater Johns this weekend. So Cater, I'll ask you. We've seen a bunch of mile-and-a-halves on the schedule so far, producing great racing. So what are you expecting? Anything different, or maybe a lot of the same stuff we've seen?
You know, I think and hope it's going to be a lot of the same stuff we've seen with how jam-packed with action the 1.5 intermediates have been so far this year. I'm expecting an extravagant show here today in the Midwest.
You know, I'm going to be honest, I'm a big fan of the use of the word extravagant. It actually makes us look like we're really professional here for once. But just like always, we have cars practicing. But let's take a look at the qualifying lap. Carter Jones put it on pole once again. Cater, go ahead, take us around Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I don't know how he keeps winning pole, but here he goes. He dives this NDSU Bison machine pretty deep into turns 1 and 2, keeping it about a half groove off from the apron, right up against the wall around turn 2. And now here's the unique thing about Chicago. The backstretch actually is curved slightly, so they're never going fully straight. Down to turn 3, once again, about a half groove up from that apron. Getting all the maximum speed he can get out of that corner. Is going to dip down to the apron a little bit, get that extra bit of shortcut, and he gets that great time that will get him the pole here today at Chicago.
Great way to get the pole, but let's head trackside for the command. Cars are rolling past the start-finish line, ready to get this race underway. Gonna be a long one, should be a fun one, but first, let's take a look at the starting line. And cars are on track, ready to get this race underway, but let's take a look at the race analysis. 67 laps, 4 windows, around 35 to 40 laps, so about a one-stop race. And Caden Bishop was the practice winner, who is there, just starting inside the top 5. So a long race should prove lots of excitement, but it's going to be a little bit. So, Cater, who are you picking to win today?
You know, I would imagine it's finally Ethan O'Connor's time. He's been so good. He's been front-running. He's had the speed. He tried making a last-minute charge at the end of last week and fell short. I think he can finally figure it out, put the pieces together, and get his first win today.
I like the pick. He's starting up front there on the podium, but up front it's Carter Jones, Caleb Marinelli, leading to the green. We are underway here at Chicagoland.
Another thing worthy to point out, Caden Bishop still yet to score a top 5 this season, but he's frequently quick in practice.
That is a good point. The fact that we are 9 races in now, well, technically 8 after last week, and he doesn't have a top 5 with all the speed he's shown, that's incredible. I don't understand how he just, what's he missing?
Yeah, you took the words right out of Kyle Petty's mouth. That is incredible. Off turn 4, Carter Jones leads that NDSU machine across the line to lead lap 1. But here comes the Raising Cane's car. One love, one battle for the lead going on. That was bad. I'm sorry. That was very cheesy.
No, that was pretty. No, that was pretty good. But Carter Carter Jones easily making it work on the outside. Already, we're seeing drivers use a couple different lanes. Carter there using the outside. A couple even back here. He's starting to use the bottom. You see Zach Stern mainly trying to get. Now Carter shifts to the bottom while Ethan and Caleb are up top.
Yeah, you're seeing a ton of different grooves right now. And one thing I'm noticing is you're also seeing a lot of the players from last week. First off, all the towel cars. You're also seeing Caleb Marinelli as well as Ethan O'Connor throw Caden Bishop into the mix as well. He currently rides 5th.
I can't help but ignore that voice crack. That was kind of funny.
Thanks.
But still looking at, yeah, you see Carter, he's really hooking the bottom in 3 and 4. I think he's really liking it down there. But Caleb Marinelli, look at the good run off of turn 4. It carried a lot of speed with Tanner Campos following. Nowhere for Ethan O'Connor to go from the bottom.
Yeah, speaking of good run there for Caleb Marinelli,
Oh my
if you recall, if you recall the runs I had a few weeks ago that prevented me from being in the booth, that unfortunately was transmitted to Zachary Sterno, so that is why he is not here this week, but he hopefully should be back next week.
Yeah, that's going to be important because we're after this, we only I think have like 2 more races to go. That's it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know my own schedule.
Well, I believe there are 3 left because it's a 12-race schedule.
Yeah, I'm correct. This is race 10, and then we have 2 iRacing Super Speedway.
Oh!
Ooh, that's going to be a good one. So I think, if you ask me, this is the last race these drivers are going to have to gain as many points as they can, because at iRacing Super Speedway, anything could happen.
Yeah, I've seen that track. It is an insanely fast, very wide surface, and there could be some brutal moments and wrecks and very exhilarating, what's the word I'm looking for? Adrenaline type action, as now we have a battle for the lead. Tanner Campos with a good run off turn 2 is going to steal it from Jones. Not quite. The Tau cars battling it out here through turns 3 and 4.
You know, I really liked what Tanner did there entering turn 1. He kind of got right up behind Carter, and then he slowly drifted up and took that outside lane away and got a really good run off of turn 4. And the Caleb Marinelli did the same thing. He got a really good run off of turn 4. He's going to jump right to the outside of Carter Jones, right on the back bumper of Tanner.
That's what you gotta do sometimes, is leave an element of surprise and mystery, following his tracks, and then just very subtly move up and take his groove away, and that's what Tanner Campos did, as now Marinelli is going to follow the 24 here around the outside, rim riding along the safer barrier, well, not quite, about a couple grooves off, and they are going to get around him. Here comes Caden Bishop. Where does he go? He follows the Canes car.
You know, I think really the key right now is at the top lane, middle to top lane is the key spot to beat. There's Caden Bishop looking at 3 right up the middle. Ooh, what a geez,
that was close.
Oh my god.
Holy cow. Now we saw a lot of close moments with the 62, I believe, last week, where he would slide up. I think he was attempting the side draft. And it looked like that kind of happened as well, and the 37 reacted to him doing that and nearly took out himself and Caleb Marinelli there. So a very close call here early on at Chicagoland.
That really shows about how teammates are working. Like, look up here in this. We have I assume this is essentially all these. We have this breakaway. This is about, what, 8 cars here? And look at the team we have up here. There's 3 Brink cars with Caleb, Caden, and Kylie back there. And then you have all the Tau cars mixed with Ethan O'Connor in there as well. So a lot of diversity, but also could maybe see some teamwork. Not sure.
I think you're seeing a lot of these intermediate guys shine today. I think the most out of any day, as they have broken away from everyone else, as you mentioned. And it's almost like would you almost say they're drafting with each other, helping each other out here? Because this is an insane breakaway.
Oh, yeah, I think you could say that was a pretty, they have broken away, and I assure you they are using the draft, especially when you see them get runs off of turn 2 and turn 4. They probably draft with...
Oh, that's tight.
Run. Oh, Caleb and Ethan close. Oh, almost contact, putting each other in the wall. Carter way down there on the apron.
Now, this is the type of racing we love to see here in the NASCAR iRacing Series. Did I miss a word in that acronym?
I think Cup Series, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Cup Series. Yeah, the Cup is very important.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why that's important. These drivers are battling for the championship trophy, which is also referred to as the Cup.
I know, right? It's so special. Oh, look at Caleb slide up. Oh, look at Zach up the middle. A good run. Man, now, okay. Yeah, they've kind of broken away, this top 8, but they're not racing any calmer. They are consistently 3 wide here all of a sudden.
It is very nice for the ratings, that is for sure. You see the 8 car of Zach Stern, I got my eye on him. He has been making up a lot of ground. He's up to 2nd place after being as far back as, oh god, I don't know, maybe 8th? So that's been a half dozen spots he has gained so far.
Yeah, he's really trying to run the middle lane there. It looks like he's really the only one running the middle who's not trying to make a pass. The bottom's really not the best lane you want to be in because, I mean, Carter was leading the race just a couple laps ago, and now he's back out here just outside the top 5, losing a good bit of momentum. So it looks like the top is where you want to be.
Ricci just made an incredible move through the middle there. That was cool. Up to the top 5 he goes. Marinelli and Bishop were racing very close about a half lap earlier. They were side drafting, almost touching. And now they, well, they're nose to tail right now. Actually, Marinelli slides up and some more action off the corner. Oh, no!
Oh, he's around!
Look out, look out! Oh, Sasso!
Oh!
Quinn Jagger!
Oh, no! Caution is out! Oh, no!
I saw the 26 car, Anthony Sasso, get hit up in the air a little bit, but he came back down to the ground, and that looked like about a 4-car wreck.
I imagine Quinn Yeager, Brian Logano, probably not going to be able to continue now that they're just missing a piece of their car. Probably won't be allowed to stay out there without a hood and Quinn a front bumper.
That was insane. It looked to me like... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, let's see. Pit road is open, I believe, so I probably won't get any takers this early, I imagine. And none of the front runners. Maybe people in the back. Yeah, there's Brian Logano.
There's the guys with damage.
Kylie coming in with damage.
Oh.
Seth comes in. JD, Anthony, essentially the back half of the field coming in. Maybe gonna...
You know, I really, really like this because these guys are going to be faster than the guys out front. And then, I mean, they both have to do one stop either way. So,
Oh.
Bit of...
little bit of check up there. Zachary Shepard, I think, was letting a car in front of him get by.
Oh!
Oh, geez. Contact on pit road just because.
Normal stuff.
Let pit road cycle out here. See who comes out. There's Carter, who had damage as well, coming in to assume repair damage. See who's any of the lead lap cars. Seth comes out first. JD, Paul. That's a key stop for Paul Donlin, championship leader. So this could be big for him. The Allens, Dylan, James, Anthony. Who it doesn't look like, I guess, maybe got that much damage if he's coming out this early. So maybe not as bad as they're thinking for the 2016. But let's take a look at what happened.
What it appeared to me is it was... Oh, actually, that might... I don't know if I want to put that on Jones or the spotter of the 62. As you see, Anthony Sasso getting drilled by Brian Logano there, and the contact by... I'd have to see again. Was it Quinn Jagger hitting the 62?
Here's another view. You know, it looks like there was actually a big checkup in front of the 62, and the 16, Kylie, was not really expecting that, so she moved up trying to go by, and there's nowhere for all these guys. Quinn, Brian, Anthony, nowhere for them to go.
It's hard to tell if it was a reaction by Jones, by O'Connor, in that 3-wide mess, or if his spotter just didn't tell him there was a car on the outside.
Yeah, you could probably put a little bit of mix. Kylie made a really late move there.
Oh.
Again, the 62. Oh, hard hit there by the 29 of Quinn. Let's see, are we gonna get more on board? I imagine we will here. Oh, here we go. Here's a view from the 16. Yeah, look at the check up there in front of the 62. She jumps up trying to go by, and then yeah, I guess information didn't get to Carter as soon, saying Carter's on the outside.
Yeah, you're correct. There was definitely a big check up there, and Greider's not going to be happy about that. He expects that the 62 spotter let Jones know that there is a car on the high side, and now she's got damage as well. And then Sasso, you see here, hits the 62 and up in the air in the back.
And nowhere for him to go. He just probably was expecting the 62 to stay up there, but did not stay up there. Here's another view from his team owner, Brian Logano.
In a face full of Anthony Sasso.
Yeah, that sucks for the 22. Hasn't had a top 10 since like the second race this season. Another bad break for that team.
This is what I call not having enough reaction time.
Oh, jeez. Hard hit with 29. Yeah, that might end their day. So caution is out here after a pretty big wreck involving Carter Jones, Kylie Greider, Anthony Sasso, Brian Logano, and Quinn Yeager. We are under caution here at Chicagoland, but we will be right back for the restart right after this message. Welcome back, everybody, to Chicagoland. And let's take a look at this really quick. These are the point standings as we stand right now. Now, again, this doesn't involve bonus points like fastest laps led in this race. This is just currently where they run and how the points stack up. So what do you notice here?
Well, I'm noticing Paul Dahlman currently in 9th. He has spots to gain still, and that's even with a 30-point cushion. You see Zach Stern there, not much left to gain as he's only a spot back from 1st. So Stern needs to hope he wins this race, and he needs to hope Paul Dahlman also finds a way to finish a bit more poorly, because that is a big gap Dahlman has over not just Stern, but everyone else behind him.
Yeah, definitely a big shakeup in the points, especially after that wreck with the 62s in championship contention. But we are back underway. Tanner Campos leads and gets a really good restart.
I should also say it's very impressive Stern's back up to 2nd in points after how he fell back a bit midway through the season.
Yeah, that was a good point. He had that win at Kansas, a decent finish at Charlotte, and then after that it was fairly downhill. They went a couple races without a top 10, but this definitely being up front, especially even winning a race, which will get you 5 more points. Look at JD on the bottom with those fresh tires, and he's pitting.
Aww. Oh, that was unexpected.
that sucks. But what?
It also sucks.
What?
Sorry.
Sucks? No, continue.
I was gonna say what else sucks is being on this inside line right now, because since the restart, these guys have been absolutely flying and training on the outside. You're seeing O'Connor, Bishop, Marinelli fall back so many spots because of this.
Yeah, but one thing to point out: Seth Peters, Zachary Shepard, Paul Donlin, they all pitted under that last caution, and look at the ground they have made up. They are flying right now.
And not only do they have that fresh rubber, these guys are actually working together, using that high line, training, using the draft, and it is working great. This is an amazing strategy for these guys. You see Seth Peters using that fresh rubber to just absolutely pass Zach Stern like it's nothing. And he's going to get Tanner here in this next corner, too.
I just want to... That move was incredible. Entering turn 1, he was behind right on the bumper of Zach Stern, and now he's coming off of turn 4, and he's side by side for the lead. Seth Peters... Big move here from those fresh tires.
This is a good performance for Seth Peters. He usually only excels on the road courses, but right now he's finding some really good speed out of this car, and he's going to be front running here in just a moment if he keeps it up here at the Oval Chicago.
And give it a second here, because look at Zachary Shepard flying in that 52. Dylan Jones, Sidney Allen, they all pitted under that last caution as well. And just like Seth, they are right there, ready to... They're trying to work.
Oh, that's close.
Cars. Oh,
there's a tight note back there for 9th place. Ethan O'Connor and another car. I think it was the Monster Energy machine. Meanwhile, across the front stretch, 21 laps down in the books. The Smithfield car on the inside. Seth Peters still battling side by side with the Exalta machine, and now he finally clears as Carter Jones comes off and tries to merge back with the pack.
And keep in mind, Carter Jones is a couple laps down, maybe about 3 laps down or so, so he's not going to be in contention. But he is still probably going to have fresher tires even than the leaders. So it's going to be interesting. But Seth Peters, correct pit call right there. And Zachary Shepard looking to the inside. It's going to be really interesting now because we essentially have 2 different strategies. And with about 44 laps to go, it's going to be interesting to see who's and what strategy plays out the best.
This is a very cool moment right here for this 52 car. He's never seen the front of the pack, and now he's currently leading. Well, now it's a side-by-side battle. These guys are side drafting, peeking out of front, but we could see Zachary Shepard lead his first lap here in the series.
Let's see, can he do it? We got to point it out. Come on, can he lead his first lap of the series?
No!
Almost. Almost. But just look back there. Dylan Jones has cleared Tanner Campos for 3rd now, so if he can get the right draft, he's going to be right here with the leaders, and that is a pretty good runoff in turn 2.
I'm telling you, this strategy has worked amazingly. It has totally flipped the race with the events following that prior caution. And now we have totally new players in this race, including Sidney Allen, trying to get around the 24 car of Tanner Campos for 4.
Now, again, even though they pitted on lap 12, they still cannot make it to the end. So everybody in the field will still have at least one more pit stop. So it's going to be interesting to see when these guys will be able to stop and how much fuel the guys who stayed out were able to save. So maybe they can extend it some laps. But this is a fun battle for the lead with these top 3 right now. A lot of guys we don't see typically up front as often getting their moment to shine.
It definitely is refreshing to see these guys performing very well on an oval. As Shepard, Peters, Jones.
Can he lead the lap?
I mean, he did it!
He did it! That's awesome.
Let's go.
First lap led for Zachary Shepard in that 52. And keep in mind, that 52 is a very competitive car. James Omaki, his team owner, is in contention for that championship fight right now. And Leland Fife, previously in the 52s, ran well, finished 2nd twice. So that 52 has some speed.
It's also got really nice colors, and they are very close to turns 3 and 4, not leaving each other much room, not more than like a quarter of a car width, as now on the front stretch, almost halfway through, about 7 laps from halfway, Peters leads that lap. Dylan Jones, I think, is getting antsy. He might make a move for the lead here if the opportunity presents itself.
Now keep in mind, something that we haven't really focused on, Seth Peters and Dylan Jones are teammates, so it makes sense that Dylan Jones is up there working with his teammate, trying to push him to the lead, and it's working off the straightaways, but at the same time, the 52 is carrying good speed on the bottom, and Dylan can't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know that, despite them being the same number font, so I am a bad analyst. Look at this 3 wide!
Oh, he's going to go for it. Oh, but look at these players. Sidney Allen's caught up. Evan Toddy, who pitted, he's caught up. And I even just look at Tanner Campos and Zach Stern. They've kind of leveled themselves back out. They're back up front.
Hey, don't forget to mention the Google car of Paul Donnellan, too. That's kind of scary.
Can I just ask, how does he do it? Look at Evan.
That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. I cannot believe they did not wreck.
I mean, it didn't really help for Sid. Got into the wall. It's going to stack up the outside. Paul and James, not really anywhere to go. Hopefully that's not really big damage for the 57. But 3 wide. Here comes Carter on those fresher tires, trying to get a lap back.
You see the side-by-side up front, Peters and the 52 of Shepard. And Toddy right now, is he trying to find a hole 3 wide?
Oh, look at Carter on the 62. He's going to spoil some things here, trying to get a lap back. He's going to be flying. And look at Tanner and Zach. They both caught right back up.
I tell you what, this is a recipe for disaster right now if these guys keep racing like this. But I'm all for it. Peters way up high. Shepard and now Jones going for the front of the pack, getting one of his laps back. But the battle for the lead is actually between the 52 and the 78 car with the 94 close in tow.
I will say someone who needs this definitely is Evan Toddy. He's there in points, and Shepard is going to clear the 78 for the lead. And again, like I mentioned, with Evan Toddy, he's up there in points, and I think if winning this race will be big for him, especially if Paul Donlin just stays back there a little bit.
You know Darlin's plans are not to stay back there. He's looking for another top 5 finish. You see this 93 car, he's also laps down, I believe, as he's kind of caught in the middle 3 wide here. Domlin splitting him up high and Tanner down low. Here comes the 94 slid back a little bit, actually, trying to get a little bit of a surge on the low line here.
I think it's really because there's not really many people on the bottom he's able to work with. Everybody's on the top just training away. Meanwhile, that's allowing Zachary Shepard to put a little bit of a gap there on second place, maybe about 3-4 car lengths now.
Got a bit of cloud cover on the racetrack, and now they're back in the sunlight. Those subtle grip changes are definitely going to make for some very, I don't know. Zachary's usually the guy that analyzes that, so.
Now we gotta kind of do it on our own here. We gotta think of how that stuff's gonna work. But speaking of that, Zach Stern is looking to make passes on these guys with newer tires. I think they have everybody who's, I think all their tires are fairly leveled out a little bit.
I think that's a very good point. You're seeing, as you said, some of these guys starting to slowly crawl their way back up through this pack right now. Campos also one of them, trying to stay in touch with his teammate in that 8 car. And I tell you what, Paul Donlin, man, I think he's found the top 5.
I think I've asked this questions a billion times about Paul Donlin, but how does he do it? Like how? How does this? How?
I just think Paul is one of those guys that you want in your car to be hunting for a championship, because he's so patient. He lets the race do its own thing, let it flow, and really what he does best is stay out of trouble. Just run your own race. Don't do anything stupid. Get the points. Get a nice solid top 5. Don't overdrive the car. Give 95%. And I think that's what he's been doing to find success here.
I mean, just to look at Paul Donlin's stats, you said it right. He has 1 finish outside of the top 10 this season, and that is why at the time of the caution, he had a 30-point lead. So that's definitely big. But I want to point out, looking at this, everybody's kind of single-filed out, and I want to point out what happened with these tire changes. I want to say that for the guys that pitted, who essentially were racing themselves up front, I feel like they were really trying to push themselves to get way up front, and the guys who didn't pit, like Zach Stern, Tanner Campos, they were taking it really easy, waiting for these guys to use up their tires, and now they have their chance to get back up front, and I'd say it's paying off.
Yeah, it's a very smart play in my opinion. I mean, you got the draft to work with following the restart. We've seen it be very effective today. So taking the tires very easy, perhaps even saving a little bit of fuel. I mean, I don't think it really matters at this point. They still got to stop. But, like, saving that tire wear is going to be very beneficial in making this little charge back to the front before pit stops happen once again. And I would actually recommend that these guys pit as soon as possible. And I would also recommend that the guys that pitted under the caution don't pit too later after these guys that are about to pit.
All right, well, let's bring up about pit stops. Those guys who did not pit under that first caution, the window is open, so we imagine they will probably be pitting here maybe anywhere in the next 10 laps or so, depending on how many laps of fuel they may be saved. But then also, we've noticed, I mean, we've seen it a bunch of times, especially at like Auto Club, where these drivers will just run it to the end of their fuel window. And again, a fuel window is around 40 laps or so. So I don't know what their strategy is, especially for those who stayed out. So I don't know what they're thinking here. It's going to be interesting.
I actually just picked up on the 52 radio communications. They're picking up a little bit of a vibration, Zachary Shepard is. Not sure exactly what that could mean or amount to, but right now he's still running out front in that clean air. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse for him, especially leading his first race ever.
But look at
I mean,
just Zach Stern, he played the tire strategy right, because he's back up here making a pass for second place. So either the guys up front who stayed out really wore up their tires, or he really saved. Look at the run he just cleared Dylan Jones off of turn 2.
Zach's one of the best. Zach is one of the best, not just on raw speed, but management of tire wear and fuel. And, hey, he's coming down pit road. Fun.
Okay. All right, well, now we know the fuel window for guys who pitted or who stayed out is open now. Yeah, here comes his teammate Tanner Campos in as well here. So this is probably going to be starting a flood of pit stops here, especially for the guys who all stayed out.
Here comes Toddy with a little bit of a run. I'm very curious when these guys are going to pit because Zach Stern was basically on the leader right there before he came down pit road. So I don't see the benefit in staying out too much longer compared to the 8, the 24, and now these guys coming down.
Justin Ricci, Caden Bishop, Nate Wines. I believe there was another one that came in as well. Yeah, Caleb Marinelli, he's in as well. Yeah, that's it. These are all guys, again, who did not pit under that caution. And here's the leader in Carter Jones, who's caught back up to Carter, trying to hold on to another lap, maybe hope for a caution, but I don't know, they're pretty stringed out right now.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. They're really stringed out. These guys right here are in the pack, though, 5, 6 cars, trying to make up a little bit of hay before everyone else pits. And you saw there, the 8 and the 24 merged back onto the track there on the backstretch. They're exiting turn 4 right now. These guys are through turn 3.
Again, I'm going to point it out, especially from these leaders. Evan Toddy, I think a win today will really boost their confidence, especially for the points lead, because they're I believe, like 3rd or 4th right now, and a win could be huge for this team.
It sure would. By the way, I'd like to apologize. That was turn 2, not turn 3. Here we are off turn 4. And Ethan O'Connor is going through the grass. I don't know why, but that's kind of sus.
Yeah, that is a little interesting. Not sure why. There's Paul Donlin coming in pit road as well, who's got damage. Heavy right
now
damage.
That's not something you see out of Paul Donlin, as I mentioned about 10 laps ago. I wonder if they're going to have a replay for us, see how he obtained that.
I sure hope so. But they're bringing it into pit road. I assume Ethan O'Connor is stopping on the road. Okay. There won't be a caution for that because, well, he's on pit. Oh, here's a replay. Let's see. There's Paul on the bottom, Ethan up top, coming into turn 1. Ethan turned Paul. What?
That is interesting. And as you see, Ethan O'Connor still stopped on pit road. I'm almost wondering if this might prompt a caution since these guys are about to come down pit road eventually, but we'll see. But what?
I was to say, I imagine, I don't know, the only reason I would see a caution is if there's any debris, but there's no reports of any debris on the track. And I mean, if Ethan O'Connor were stopped on pit road, I mean, they won't throw a yellow because, well, it's technically off the racetrack. And they can push it.
All I know is that Paul Donlin getting turned into that wall and getting that heavy right side damage, that is going to totally change the complexion of the champion. It's going to be championship implications.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, that might be the end of Paul Donlin's really good streak of top 10s he's had. That could be the end of it.
And it might not, yeah, I mean, not just that, but like, could it be a possible momentum killer altogether? I mean, we are heading into iRacing Super Speedway. It can be really hard at such a wild card track like that to really just secure a top 5 or a top 10. And after a confidence killer like this one, I'm very curious to see how Paul Donlin keeps his head down and gets the job done in the next 2 weeks.
Look at Zach Stern flying on those fresh tires. Now, again, he is a lap down, so he's got to get by Evan Toddy to get his lap back. So, Zach is flying. We just saw him, just how much ground he just made up on Zachary Shepard there. And there's Carter, Evan putting him another one of those lap downs. And there's Tanner, I believe, in the distance just a bit. There's JD. Now, there's Justin Ricci. Here, he technically, I guess, is the next car behind Zach. Yeah, there's Tanner as well.
It'd be impressive if Zach Stern won this race. It would mean he's won a quarter of the schedule this season. Mm-hmm. That would be 3 on the total win count, and that's really good, honestly. In a field of 21 drivers, you're winning a quarter of the races, 3 of the 12. That, I mean, speaks volumes, honestly.
And something to point out, you didn't say it. This would be his 2nd in a row. He won at Michigan last week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And something else to point out, he's getting held up by these guys. Look at Justin Ricci. He's right there. Oh, this might be his chance, though, right here, to get by them all.
Oh, it definitely might be. I mean, they're 3 wide, though. I don't know if he's going to have the lane to do it, but we've seen him shove his nose in somewhere he used. This is bad right here.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Dylan in the wall.
And we saw that earlier in the race too. Toddy once again, second time he's been put in that situation.
Oh my god! Whoa! Okay, so it looks like Dylan just did what Ethan did earlier. Came down a little bit and, almost took out Zachary Shepard.
My lord. And I'm assuming he has a problem. He is not on the pace.
I mean, as long as he can get back to pit road, there won't be a caution here. There's Paul Donlin still on pit road. Oh, that's killer.
Yeah, his points lead just went. But anyway,
Yeah.
lap 50 underway. Here's Evan Toddy with the race lead. Zachary Shepard, man, I'm telling you, if he could win this race, that would be really cool. Justin Ricci in third. Tao Racing teammate there in fourth. Tanner Campos as they get around Shepard. Whoopsie daisies. I did a little commentator's jinx probably.
Well, remember, Nate Wines there, he also pitted with those leaders, so he's up here battling with them as well. But something to note is, well, there's Justin Ricci, who technically would cycle to second when everybody pits, but his competition looks like an ant in the front windshield, so he's going to need something big to happen here.
I was going to say, I wonder if these guys are going to do a Tao train, but Campos decides to go low, make it 3 wide, and nearly wreck Toddy there, and he just took the lead. What a move.
He didn't take the lead. He's getting his lap back.
Oh! Wait, when he
these
fell a
guys
lap
are.
back, am I missing something?
They fell a lap down when they pitted, so.
Okay, I got you. Alright, I was wondering. Oh no!
Oh my god!
Dude, he's got to be having a few heart attacks in the car right now. This is.
Which one? Ricci or Toddy?
Oh!
Oh my god!
Toddy, man. Toddy's been involved in 4 of these now.
You gotta think Evan is doing this on purpose, or is he just really trying to keep them as far back as he can? Because, I mean, he's gotta pit soon.
Well, if he's doing it on purpose, he's got to be smarter about it because he's almost wrecked his car 4 times now.
He might actually be pitting.
And here he comes.
Yep, he is pitting. So, finally, he's gonna need to turn on Nitro Boost here or something, because he's gonna have, like, 15 laps or so to make up a bunch of time. He's not gonna fall a lap down, I don't believe, but he's gonna need to make up a lot of time. Especially if Zach has gotten away. Like, look at the lead he's gonna have. That's gonna be the lead Zach will have when he eventually cycles to the lead on Tanner. Here comes Zachary Shepard.
It really is.
Back into the lead, too.
It really is just, man, I've said this 5 million times, but I'm going to say it again as Zachary Shepard comes down pit road. Zach Stern, he's like Scott Dixon. You just don't know how he freaking does it.
Yep, that's a good point. And then here's this battle right here as well. And those 3 were battling for position. JD. James Omaki is the leader. He did not pit. Neither did Brandon Allen right there behind him. So those 2 are yet to pit. I believe those are the last ones on the cycle. So once they pit, I believe Zach will assume the lead. Oh, penalty on Zachary Shepard. Oh! Well,
that is a rookie mistake if I've ever seen one. And we've barely seen any penalty. Is that probably the first penalty we've seen?
The only other penalty I can imagine was that one at Daytona with Ethan O'Connor, but that wasn't even called in the race. That was called post-race. But yeah, you might be right. This might be the first penalty we've seen called during a race. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I can. That is a massive bummer for a driver that was front running today in his 4th start, if that. I mean,
like that.
Man, it's very disappointing. But regardless, I don't think he really had a chance to win. He'd have, like you said, he'd have to go Nitro Boost. And here comes Omaki down pit road, as well as the 16 of Kylie Greider. Here's Evan Toddy.
He's still coming by. Where's Zach Stern? There he is. There's Zach. He will assume the lead once he gets by James on pit road. Again, it's going to be a pretty decent lead. He's got about almost 3 seconds on Tanner Campos. Might even be more.
Yeah, I mean, say what you will about Zach Stern. A lot of people don't like it when he wins over and over again, but let me tell you something. You can't deny talent, and this man has a lot of talent. He has a lot of drive, a lot of... What's the word I'm looking for? I seem to do this a lot. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, but I do want to point something out, especially with him in the leading. I feel like I've said, let's point this out a lot, too. But Zach Stern leading, who was like 4th or 5th in points coming into this race, he was still pretty decent margin away from the points. He was like almost 50 points, but with him winning, possibly, like if he can, as long as we don't have a caution, I think he's got this won. But Paul Donlin, who's multiple laps down right now, outside the top 15, this is a big opportunity for a lot of these guys to make up points. Tanner's going to make up points. Caleb, Justin will make up points. Even Evan, I think, is going to make up some points.
The word I was looking for is resilience, by the way.
There you go.
But anyway, here's Nate Wines and Caleb Marinelli duking it out, as well as a couple other cars there. Really not too much happening on track right now other than a couple side-by-side battles as you see a flyby here on the back stretch and back to Zach Stern out front. 10 to go.
Yeah, he's on cruise control right now. Tanner maybe has cut down the margin a little bit to the 8, but it's not significant. One lap he gains a little bit, and the other lap he doesn't really gain much. But again, with no caution here, Zach can just cruise to this win. You know
what would you say that? What's that?
I was gonna say, while we're scrolling through these fields, I mean, look at Cade Bishop. He's in the top 5.
I can't believe it.
Could this be finally the race where Cade Bishop will get a top 5?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I already said it. It's
well.
And there's Evan Toddy, who's I believe he's just barely inside the top 10. So he's gonna make up points on Paul. Not as much as Zach, but it'll be something. Better than nothing, I guess.
Definitely better than nothing. Here's a few cars in a little line here. Caleb Marinelli, Justin Ricci, and Nate Wines with 8 laps to go here. Right now, as you mentioned, Zach Stern just hoping, praying that the caution does not come out due to stupidity. There is the gap. Well, actually, I didn't see it that well, but it's multiple seconds from Tanner Campos and Zach Stern, and there is Zachary Shepard.
Yeah, he is a lap down, unfortunately, so not on the lead lap for Zachary Shepard, but looking to try to get one of his laps back. But yeah, again, there are no overtime rules in this series, so if there's gonna be a caution, it's gonna have to be like right now. Once we hit maybe 4 or 5 laps to go, good chance the race will end under yellow. So we need if anybody wants a yellow, now's their time.
Tanner Campos's margin from the lead appears to be 2.5 to 3 seconds, if I estimated that interval right, which is gotta be honestly like 3 to 4 tenths made up a lap. More like 4 tenths a lap with 6 to go. It's not gonna happen unless the caution comes out here. So Zach Stern just has to keep it out of the fences and keep his pace up.
Yeah, he's going to have to hold on. There's Zachary Shepard looking to get one of his laps back. Oh, geez, almost putting him into the wall a little bit, but
could you imagine?
I know, right? That I guess that would be his payback for getting a speeding penalty. He just take out his anger on something.
Yeah, take his anger out on the leader, just casually.
Yeah, if I can't win, neither can you. Well, now that we hit about 5 to go, yeah, a caution pretty much from here will most likely end the race. So as long as nothing big happens to the 8, looking good to get his 2nd win in a row. Like, imagine that. We haven't had anybody do that this season, and even with this win, this will make him the driver with the most wins this season. This will put him at 3.
I think it's kind of funny just to keep the viewers wondering and on their toes. The 52 did have a vibration earlier. What if he just blows up, spills oil on the track, and Zach Stern dies? I mean, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Absolutely anything could happen right now. But again, the 52's putting up a pretty big margin now. Just hope the 8 doesn't blow a tire or something.
Yeah, I mean, anything can go wrong. These cars are not mechanically perfect. We've seen that before. And sometimes it happens at the most unluckiest of times. I mean, it can be crazy sometimes. But right now, Zach Stern, he's had his fair share of ups and downs. This could get ugly, by the way. No, we're fine. He's had his fair share of ups and downs and luck. But right now, 3 to go. As you said, he's on cruise control.
Yeah, the margin between he and the 24 really haven't changed that much. It's stayed about very simple, very even right now. Again, the top 2, they both have wins. They're gonna be closer to championship contention, especially with Paul Donlin having issues. But yeah, especially this win, this is gonna be big. especially for he's leading some laps. That's another bonus point. So 8 looking to get as many points as he can here.
You know, Tyler, it's been fun to be in the booth this season, but what I think this is the calm before the storm. Sure, this might be a dud of a finish, but let me tell you something. As I said before, you can't downplay the absolute success and speed this 8 car has had, and it's really incredible what he does. But as I mentioned, the calm before the storm, as he's going to take the white flag off turn 4. We're going to iRacing Super Speedway to wrap up the season twice, and I think we're going to see some very wild action as Skozen, you can take the call here to the finish.
Yeah, it's been big for the 8, especially you don't know what's going to happen at iRacing Super Speedway, especially twice. That's even double the nightmare for all of these drivers. But again, down the backstretch for the final time, this is exactly what this 8 team needed. He and his team have all proved that they are tough to beat at these 1.5 mile tracks. As here he comes off of turn 4, he's dominated the last half of the race, and it's going to be 2 wins in a row. Zach Stern gets it done at Chicagoland.
Tau Racing 1-2, Caden Bishop, finally.
3rd place finish, about time, but I mean, just look at the rest. Zach winner, Tanner 2nd, Justin 5th, 3 in the top 5, and had Carter there dominate early. Couldn't get anywhere from that damage from that wreck, but another great day, especially for that Tau team. Exactly what they needed. Now's the time where they're going to start writing some notes heading into the final 2 races of the season.
I think where the speed is coming from is that ability and that, oh, yeah.
There you go.
The ability to just win championships. I mean, Zach is a proven championship driver, and I think right now he is turning on at the right time. That sounded a tiny bit sus, but hey, we'll go with it.
I mean, again, he can burn it down as much as he wants here because with 2 super speedways, I imagine they are not going to use this car anymore. They're probably just going to get rid of it. Probably don't. And okay, celebrate in the grass. I haven't seen that much.
One thing I am very curious to see is how Zach Stern and the rest of Tau, as well as Ethan O'Connor, Caleb Marinelli, Caden Bishop, etc., stack up at the iRacing Super Speedway compared to everyone else that hasn't been front-running as much. I think it's going to make things very interesting for the championship title fight, especially now that Paul Donlin has collapsed here today and Zach Stern has made up a ton of ground, as well as Toddy and others.
Again, it's going to be important because we've been to 1 super speedway this season, and it did not blow up the engine. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap up coverage, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Thanks, Cater, for joining me in the booth. Congrats to the 8 team in Tau Racing. But let's head and take a look at the finishing results.